It ain't easy now. How could I move forward when I keep looking backward? I'm just standing still. How can I fight this obsession? Have I not learned my lesson? Maybe
Pittsburgh Steelers fans, welcome back to another episode of the Scho Bro Show. This is behind the steel curtain editor Dave Schofield coming at you. It's Tuesday night. It's, oh my goodness, it's almost 20 after 9. This one's, well, kind of my fault. I'll get to that in a little bit. But with me as always is my big brother Rich. No, it's not your fault.
Not my fault.
Rich, not your fault. But how you doing tonight?
Hey, you know what? Doing just hunky-dory. Counting it down.
Hunky-dory. So, yeah, the reason I say it was kind of my fault, it was kind of a Mother Nature and unfortunate circumstances. We had a lightning delay in my softball game tonight, next to last game of the season. But I still should have been fine coming home. But then there was an accident that I couldn't get through, which held me up coming home. So that's why we're going a little bit later tonight. But we're hoping to get back to, man, once softball season's done, I'm going to be really happy to make sure we're getting back to starting at 9 p.m. So next week we'll see. But the following week we should be good to go, making sure we're starting on time. Rich, this is an exciting show. It's exciting. Why is it so exciting? Because why?
Football is on the horizon.
Football. I don't care that it's preseason. I'm actually really excited that it's preseason. It doesn't matter to me. I can't wait for the Steelers to take the field Saturday night. Now, before we get into that too much, I have to do something before we really get in to the bread and butter of the show. And that is this. I've got to give a little bit of a shout out. All right. I actually saw you last week. I actually saw you in person last Wednesday.
Yes, you did.
Because my family and I traveled up to, for the first time in like a decade, I went back home and went to the good old Garrett County Agricultural Fair and Expo. I don't know if it says an expo. I know the one around here says that. That's it. Look from the fairgrounds. You're overlooking Deep Creek Lake. It's great. It's beautiful. Hadn't been there in a very long time, and you came by because it's right next to your school where you work at.
Yep.
And while I was up there, I actually shared this in the Slack channel, but I was walking, waiting. The kids were wanting to go ride rides, but before that, they weren't going yet. So we're walking through all the barns, walk through the dairy barns, through the beef barns, even through the goat and sheep. And of course, you got to hit the pig barn. And in the pig barn, I saw something that caught my eye that I just loved. It was a big Steelers banner. It was a big Steelers banner because one, Noah Connor, 9 years old, had a Steelers banner for his pig named Pickett. He named his pig Pickett shortly after the NFL draft. He was so excited that the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett. I'm there taking a picture of the sign just because I loved it. And here the kid was there, and his dad was there, and his dad was telling me, "Oh yeah, he was staying up to watch the draft, and he almost made it all the way to when the Steelers selected, but he was so excited that they were drafting Kenny Pickett." So I got to give a little shout out to Noah Connor. Come to find out, he plays youth league football. Guess what number he wears? It's not number 8. He wears number 90.
Nice.
Why do you think he wears number 90? Loves him some TJ Watt. Come to find out, I graduated with his uncle. But I told him I'd give him a shout out on our show, especially on our family show, because this is just two brothers talking Steelers. But gotta love it to name his pig Pickett. Did you go by and see Pickett?
Yes, we saw Pickett.
So it said Pickett or Piglet or Piggott. But yeah, so I love that even, finding Steeler fans everywhere. It's great. But you ready to find some Steeler fans at Acrisure Stadium this Saturday night, bro?
Yeah, I think I saw on there, I think I see Kathy is going to the game. Kathy, we need to figure something out and meet up somewhere and say, hey.
Yeah.
So, because my wife and I are going to the game.
Yeah, and Steel Dog 88 throws it out there that we're wearing the same hats. You thought I was going to wear one, so you wore that one, and then I wore this one, and yeah. We got to get our rotation going a little bit better. So, but yeah, so we're looking like, hey, at least we didn't both wear our Scho Bro Show t-shirts, so then we'd look really nerdy. But that's who we are. I'm going to throw this out there. I didn't know if I was going to be going to this game or not this weekend. I still had it up in the air. It's not that I can't go, but I also have responsibilities with the website, thinking it might be easier. I'm going to tell Steelers fans this right now. You will see this in my How to Watch article that comes out later this week. If you're checking it out at BehindTheSteelCurtain.com, your one-stop shop for all things Pittsburgh Steelers. If you're wanting to see every play of the Steelers week 1 preseason game, if you're not in the Steelers home market or in the Seattle Seahawks home market, you're not going to see it all. Yes, it's nationally televised. The game starts at 7, but the NFL Network is scheduled to show another game at 9 p.m. Do you remember them doing? Well, you live in the home market for Pittsburgh.
I was say I don't have that problem.
But do you remember people talking about that last year? That there was a game that the Steelers game's on TV, and then you get about 5 minutes into the third quarter, and boom, you're watching another game. So, as Steeler fans out there, if you're not attending, and if you were planning on watching on NFL Network, know that you can get a free 7-day trial of NFL Plus. That used to be what NFL Game Pass was. That shows all the preseason games live, so you can catch that way. Don't know that if it would work all the way from Saturday to Saturday. That might be tough, but it's only $5 for 1 month. It's only $30 for the year. I'm not telling you to get it. I'm just letting Steelers fans know that if you want to see the preseason games, week 3 is nationally televised on CBS. So you already have that. I was trying to hold out for NFL Plus because as a season ticket holder, me being the primary name on the account, see, you're not the primary name on yours because it's another friend of ours that has the tickets, but they give you a free subscription to NFL Plus, but it doesn't start until September. So it doesn't really help for the best part of what you need it for. So we'll see how that is, but that's Jeffrey said he just picked up tickets and he's going to be there. I'm thinking I should be going because what I was going to say, there were some people in the live chat in the past that have said, oh, if you have preseason tickets, honestly, I have my tickets to this game. My Twitter handle is on the screen. If you add @gmail.com to that, that's my email. I'll maybe see if sometime I can get that on a banner up there at some point during the show. Excuse me. That I have 2 tickets for someone that if you reach out and you want them, they're yours. That's what I'm going to offer to those for those watching or listening right now. So you can say something in the live chat, but make sure you reach out to me via probably email's easiest. Okay.
Steeler Nation, yes. KDK will be covering the game with Bob and Charlie Batch as always. Because if you are in KDKA, which is the home market, you got nothing to worry about for this game. You'll see the whole thing.
Yes, I'm not sure if it's KDKA, but it's one of the Pittsburgh stations. I think this one might be KDKA. I haven't done the article yet.
KDKA tends to get the preseason games.
Yeah. So Kathy wants to know if you're in the end zone, Rich. Are you in the touchdown zone?
Yeah. Closed end, second level.
Third level.
Third level. Yes. A little higher up than Dave's seats, although I'm closer than last year.
Oh, did you guys get bumped forward?
Yes, we did.
You didn't tell me that. So
I didn't find out for certain until just the other day when I actually received the tickets.
Yeah, mine. See, because you all are in the area that you have season tickets, and our friend Chuck that was there, he was on the season ticket waiting list for 2015. He was on for 19 years, so it was almost 25 years by the time he got. But by the time he got tickets, it was 23 years, I think it was. But he got them where you don't have a seat license. So they'll move you forward and they'll bump you up in your seats. Me, I have my seats. They're the same row, same seats every year.
Yeah, we've moved forward, I don't know, close to decent number of rows.
Yeah. Are you still in the same section?
17, 18. Actually, no, move a section in.
Oh, so you're a little bit more towards the center.
Yes.
Oh, wow. There you go. That's nice. Sweet.
Yep.
Sweet. Mm-hmm. So here we are. Well, I mean, we're talking Steelers. We're not talking about the subject of the show, because what we're going to be talking about is what we want to see out of this game. I mean, that's the broad term, but we're getting that into a little bit more specific. So Rich will be there. Jeffrey will be there. We'll see if anyone else wants to get, maybe at the last second I'll change my mind if no one else grabs my tickets. But I don't think Daniel J, State of the Steelers, I don't think he's coming back. He was there for the practice before Friday Night Lights, the same practice Kevin was at. I don't think he's coming back for the preseason game, so I don't know about him. But just interesting, all these different BTSC staff members and people that are our regulars here that are going to be there. That's sweet. So, Rich, you ready to dive into it?
Sure thing.
All right. If I can get this tickle out of my throat, my goodness. What the topic of things tonight is 5 things to look for in the Steelers' first preseason game. 5 things. Notice we said things.
Things.
We didn't say people. We said things. So our list is not going to include the names of any players. Right? Right?
Yes. Correct. I had to look at my list.
Got to make sure. I'm like, so we're looking for specific. Now, it doesn't mean we can't talk about positions, but we're not going to be like, I really want to see George Pickens, blah, blah. That's not what we're going to be. We're looking at 5 things. We can talk about 5 players all we want. I'm sure we'll talk about players on other shows here at BehindTheSteelCurtain.com, your one-stop shop for all things Steelers, but on all the other podcasts. Make sure, that you're checking them all out. There'll be a curtain call tomorrow night. I think it's still curtain call, Know Your Enemy. I don't know if they're doing the enemy for the Seattle Seahawks preseason or not. I don't know. I'll have to tune in to be surprised. But between that and the Steelers preview, we now have the Here We Go, the Steelers pregame show. That's our Friday at noon audio only platform, because that was just they changed names a little bit because it's back to being a pregame show. I'm sure they're going to talk about plenty of players there. We're going to look at specific things.
I have to ask a quick question. Do we get a post-game show Saturday?
Yes. That's part of the reason. That's part of the reason I was decided that I didn't know that I was going to go to the game, because I want to be able to do the post-game show as part of it. So, and it's supposed to be, I was like, oh, do I want to go be out there and it's all hot? It's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be really nice weather. It's supposed to be like 4% chance of rain for the day, high of like 78. And for them being, that's in the afternoon. So
in Pittsburgh, I would say, my
Pittsburgh.
My weather forecast here. I can't wait for this one. Ready? Friday night lows. So basically Saturday morning.
Okay.
50.
50.
50.
I want to get out of August into September. not just because of I want the games to count. I don't care right now. I just want a game. Give me the Steelers on the field playing someone else other than themselves. But come to September, how about the weather? I really want the October weather. I'm really looking for that. I'm so tired of it being hot. Where I live here, like I live down, you're up on the mountain. It was really nice up there. It is so stinking humid all the time here. You step outside and you just get drenched. I mean, I can't step outside without just, anyway, I don't want to deal with that, but that's a whole different story. Want to bring this up real quick. The Cuda 70 said, Dave, you said you can stream the game for $5 a month. How is that? That is through NFL Plus. You can stream preseason games. You're not going to get regular season games live. You can get replays of regular season games, every single one of them, but they'll give you the preseason games live. So if you're like, hey, the month of August, $5, I can stream all 3 of the Steelers preseason game. That's not bad. That's really not all that bad. So there we go. So you'll be there. I'm still holding out. I kind of want to do the post game show with everything, but I don't know. There'd be something about knowing that it's the first time Kenny Pickett's in a game with the Steelers uniform, even if it's preseason.
For me, it's just about being in the stadium the first time the Steelers step on the field since how long, and not knowing Ben Roethlisberger is going to be the starting quarterback week 1. It's been a while.
I mean, believe it or not, that's back so far back that our sister actually saw a preseason game with one Benjamin Todd Roethlisberger, his rookie year.
Yeah.
In Detroit, because they were out visiting my best friend growing up in Detroit, because that's where he lived at the time. He's like, well, we got some tickets to the preseason game for the Steelers, but I don't know if you want to go. Of course they did. And they got to see Ben Roethlisberger play in a preseason game before he was Big Ben, which is crazy. Brian Brown says the whole East Coast is humid like that. Not the whole East Coast. Not when you get up in the mountains. But
he doesn't consider that the coast. But see, my thought is if a state touches the coast, it's considered East Coast.
Yeah.
So Maryland would be coast, but I am
not where you are
from the coast. Although it's been decently humid here.
Well, is Pennsylvania
like
East Coast? Because it doesn't touch the ocean.
No, it's not East Coast.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So.
Okay. So that's some. Let's get to this list. We each got 5 things. We have no idea what the other one's saying. For all we know, we have the same 5. For all we know, we could have 5 completely different things, like our Camp Darlings. Which, man, you're doing really good with that one, Rich. Jaylen Warren, man, he's still turning heads.
Yes,
great job. But we are doing this backwards this week. We are going to start with our top thing on the list. And then if it's on the other person's list, we can say what number we had it, and we can talk about it as well. So we're going to go from the top down this time. What are the top 5 things that you want to see in this game? Rich, get us started. What's
so my number one
top thing?
My top thing, and it's actually a question. Okay. Can the quarterbacks get the ball to the playmakers?
I like that. I have something dealing with that position that's not exactly the same, so I'll save it when we get to that one.
Okay.
But can they get it to the playmakers?
Because isn't that what we're looking for our quarterbacks to be able to do?
That's a really, I didn't think of putting it that way.
Good offensive weapons if the quarterbacks can get them the ball.
Yeah.
Boom. There it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, because we're not just looking at positions here. We're talking about things about the position. I have something about quarterbacks, but it's a different thing. That's a really good one. Can they get him to the weapons? I mean, it's easy. Well, I don't think we're going to see Najee Harris in this game. I don't think we're going to see Najee Harris in this game.
We're not going to see Najee Harris.
So just, because he seems to be fine with the foot, but they don't need to press Najee Harris right now. He got so many carries last year. They're good. And he got carries in the Hall of Fame game, if you remember that. So mine, come on. Who am I and what do I look at the most?
I don't know.
This is what I want to see. I want to see
You're my big ugly brother.
Yeah. I want to see an offensive line surge. That's what I want to see.
Okay, that was my number 2.
Okay, what's that?
That was my number 2.
Yeah, did you do it with the surge? Yep, okay.
So, yeah, I said physical play.
Physical play, okay. All right, so then after this, I'll tie in what my quarterback one was because it was number 2. Okay. I say surge, and I'm mainly thinking in the run game. I want to see them fire off the ball and be pushing their opponents down the field. For the last couple years, we have seen the Steelers either come out and only meet the defense and hold their position at the line of scrimmage, if we were lucky as fans to see that. A lot of times, even on run plays, you saw them getting moved back. I want to see surge. And when I mean surge, I don't mean just, this is going good. And, one player who doesn't have anyone over top of him coming off, firing off the ball to go get a linebacker. I want to see the entire line of scrimmage being moved at least 2 yards down the field in the positive direction. That's what I want to see. I want to see that in the run game. And you can even add to that to then say stuff about the pass game then, because yours kind of brings that in as well.
Yeah. Just want to see physical play from the O-line. Okay, though, I can't let this escape because you said the word like 3 times and the better Brian Anthony Davis came out in me.
What's that?
You kept saying you want to see Surge.
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
I think,
where I went.
hello, my name is Serge.
My name is Surge.
Did you like an espresso I'm making him back? It's good. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about.
Twist?
Yes. What is this? It's like a beast to scrub. Sorry. For those of you that don't understand, that's a Beverly Hills Cop reference.
Yes, it is. You kept saying that. I just kept.
Yes, sir. Hey, but as a coach, that was something that you were talking about often, especially when you're looking at film or when you're working on the field, is that you're saying the offensive line. You've got to surge. You've all got to move. And it takes everybody. It takes everyone to move their opponent down the field. So that's what I want to see, especially in the run game. I think we'll see a good bit of the run game in this game. So that's what I want to see. So that was your number 2?
That was my number 2.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and hear my number 2, which kind of ties up
go to your
years? You said you want to see the quarterbacks get the balls to the weapons. I want to see the quarterbacks be composed in the pocket.
Okay.
I want to see them be composed. I don't want to see nervousness dump it off too fast. I don't want to see them hold it so much and then just have to go down. I want them to be composed, step, slide, do what they have to do, hopefully not be running for their life, and be composed in the pocket to then not have to panic and make throws. I want to see composure.
Okay.
Does that work good?
It works good.
Yeah. Anything you want to say about and if they are composed, I think they're going to get the balls to their weapons.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's funny. So for our 1 and 2, we both had, one was about offensive line, one was about quarterback.
Yep.
So what was your number 3?
All right. Number 3. Stick with me here. This is going to be slightly long, as I said. Okay.
Okay.
My number 3. Injuries. Can't have them. Don't need them. Don't want it. Okay, there you go.
Get out of there. You know what? That to me, that's a given with every preseason game. That's the biggest thing you want to see. I know, like the Browns had a player, a returner / slot guy go down with an Achilles today. That's not looking good for them. So yeah, no interest. You kind of expect guys, there to be some times where people are going to get dinged up a little bit. Look, you're going to have some bumps and bruises associated with play, right?
Or Najee, like Najee got his foot stepped on in practice.
Yeah.
Somebody could get stepped on like that. And it's like, oh, you know what? Shut it down because there's no reason to risk anything else.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As Steel Dog 88 says, no more groin injuries. Right?
Groin, hit, groin, hit, groin injury. Sorry.
It's okay.
We already talked about that one with Brian Anthony Davis last year.
So, we're going to we're wanting injuries. Don't need them.
Yeah.
Can't have them.
Yep.
Don't want
so that is, I didn't even think about going that route because I was thinking of so much that I want to see from play on the field. But that should be number 1 for everything. Avoid the injuries. Avoid the injuries. So that's a good one. Me, I'm talking quarterback again.
Okay.
Talking quarterback again. But not the Steelers quarterback. It's very simple. Get after the quarterback. I want to see the defense, regardless of who is on the field, showing that the Pittsburgh Steelers are picking up right where they left off last year with going after the quarterback, getting the sacks. I'd say last year, the last 4 or 5, however long it's been that they've been crushing the league with sacks, picking up right where they left off. And with this defense, they are going to be in the face of the quarterback all the time. I want to see that pressure all game, regardless of who's out there. How's that sound?
Sounds like Steeler football.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, you've got a new defensive coordinator, you've got a new special assistant to the defense. And we say the new coordinator, he was on the coaching staff last year. He just got promoted. So it's going to be a little bit different, but you've got a lot of the same pieces. I just want to see that no matter who the Steelers put out there, that they're going to go get the quarterback. So,
okay.
All right. Sound good? You ready to move on, or anything more you want to say about getting at the quarterback?
No, just down he goes. So.
Down he goes. Yeah. Yep. And if I mean, it's not like, oh, go out and take us. No, just get to the quarterback, constantly disrupt. I'd like to see them finish off with the sacks, but it doesn't have to all be sacks. It can be hits, it can be pressures, all those good things.
Be disruptive.
Be disruptive.
Got it. All right. I'm going on to my number 4.
Number 4.
So this is where I had to look and make sure, but I get away with this one because this is, you said no players. And
okay.
This person is not a player. So, well, these people are not players. And So number 4, Ben versus Matt Canada. Where was the issue?
Oh, okay. Do you think we'll see enough of that in the preseason? I think we will.
We'll see. We'll get an idea of where it can go. We are not going to see the full bat. You're not going to see all the tricks. You're not going to see all the wrinkles. You're not going to see all this, but you're going to get an idea of what type of system you're going to see from Matt Canada. And it's going to start to answer that question. Was it Ben or was it Canada?
I mean, and the thing is, I don't want to put blame on anyone. I mean, it's not Ben's fault for the last year of his career. They brought in a guy they hired an offensive coordinator that didn't really fit his skill set. And it also wasn't Matt Canada's fault that the quarterback that they decided to bring back for one more year, legendary Hall of Famer, didn't fit it. It's just, it is what it was.
And to me, then, if that's what it was last year, it was actually done then, for lack of a better term, correctly. Matt Canada couldn't put in necessarily this entire system he wanted based on his quarterback, so he had to build around what he had, not what he wanted.
Yes.
Which is actually what a good coach should do. Coach to what your talent has.
Yes.
Don't try to take a square peg and fit it in a round hole. Put it in the square one. Like, you have to then make a square one for it to go into.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's what, I mean, you have to adjust. You can't ask Ben Roethlisberger to do the things that Josh Allen did. You just, you can't have someone at that stage of their career that thinks he's going to make plays with his legs, because that's not who he is.
Right.
Now,
I mean, did you notice we didn't see Ben run any naked bootlegs last year? Maybe because we didn't see Ben run last year. So,
yeah. Hey, we've got $5 in the tip jar from Sean Manahan. He loves throwing them in the tip jar. Here he goes. Thank you very much, Sean. He says, Ben and Canada were like Cap versus New Age Willie Beeman any given Sunday. I can't remember that movie.
Oh, man, it's been – I don't either. I mean, I know the movie, but it's just – thanks, Sean. You didn't make it click here tonight. Where's Bad? Yeah. Where's Bad when we need him?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we need Bad for this one. You know what? Sean, remind me without having to pay $5 on the preview, and we'll make sure we bring that up for Bad. And because he'll probably have a much better idea of that one. I'll just say this: the last time, or just the last time, I think it was the only time I saw that movie. It was in a VCR. On a VHS tape. That tells you how long.
Sherry says, "Watch it." He's right. So
okay. Yeah, he's okay. I believe him. So that they say, a lot of people are coming in that saying how it was very similar.
Thanks, Sean. That's what I needed.
They couldn't move. Yep, that's what I'm trying. Yeah.
Thank you.
They all run together, some of those football movies that I haven't seen for so long. I should really get back into watching those, but I'd much rather watch a replay of a Steelers game than a football movie, but that's just me.
I've made Kyle watch one of my favorite football movies.
Which is
why I'm still mad that WFT team, is the Commanders and not the Sentinels.
Oh,
because I'm a fan of the Replacements. So.
See, it's funny. Jeff's like, I don't like that movie. So Jeff's like he's not big on that one. I don't know that I've ever seen that all at one time.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I've seen enough of parts of it to see it all, but I don't know that I've seen it all in one setting with that one. So, but I don't, they talk about, oh, what's the one that that Jeff loves that I never watched? Varsity Blues. Yeah, I've never watched that one either. Yeah. So to me, Blues
is all right, but
I think of like football movies I watched while I was playing football. Movies like Rudy and The Program. Like we watched The Program as part of our high school team. We watched it together.
Eddie Powers, I agree. The original Longest Yard was a great football film. Yes, it was.
Yep, and I've seen the more recent one as well. Hey, we're getting offside. What number did you just do?
4.
Yeah, you just did number 4, and that was Ben and Matt Canada, which got us on this subject. Okay, I think you're right. I think you'll see a little bit more of these kind of things. But that's what you should expect to see, not even based on it being Matt Canada, but based on who their personnel is. You should see other things of that nature. So there we go. My number 4. I'm gonna say number 2, but it's number 4. I'm on the defensive side of the ball again. The first 2 were on offense, then the next 2 for me were on defense. It's very simple. 3 words. No big plays. I want to see no big plays. Defense, you know what? Make the team earn it. Make them have to move the ball methodically. I would love to say get off the field on 3rd down, but at the same time, I'd much rather see, if they're in 3rd and short constantly and you're giving up 3rd downs, if they're 3rd and long, you're giving up a big play. But to me, I don't want to see a run that's double digits by the other team. I don't want to see a pass. To me, what would you consider a big play in the passing game?
35 plus.
Okay. I was going to say, would you even say 25 or would you have to say it would be more than that?
It depends because, to
me, 25,
a check
25 is
down,
borderline. Okay.
A check down for 4 or 5 yards and a missed tackle can lead to 25 yards easily. Like you could see 4 or 5 of those in a game if the tackling is not good. One of those I do not consider a big play.
Yeah. See, like I would say 25 is borderline, 35 is big play.
Yes.
When it comes to a run, I would say 10 is borderline, 15 is a big play. That's me. So just kind of the expectations. I don't want to see them give up big plays, especially a big play that results in 6 points. That's my number 2.
Okay.
All right.
Anything
else you want to say about that?
And that wasn't your number 2. That was your number 4.
I knew I was going to screw that up because I forgot that we're going in the other order. Thank you. Well, hey, at least it wasn't a Camp Phenom.
Oh, goodness.
For those of you that watch the show, you know what we're talking about.
At least, were you on there with Mr. Brian Anthony Davis's slip up the other day? Were you on the show yet?
Oh, I heard the whole show.
Okay. So
I didn't catch it.
Oh.
Catch it. Oh. Yeah. Remind me. I mean, when you said, I'm like, did he really say that? And
yes,
then,
he did. So he kept saying, kept calling the show about the 3rd or 4th time instead of calling it the Sunday night Q&A. He called it the Sunday night TNA. So, at least it wasn't a slip up like that. So,
yeah.
All right. Before I go to my number 5, I am going to say I'm out there. I agree. Occam's Ox and Eddie Powers. I agree with you. Any film that Gene Hackman is in is worth watching, and all of his sports films are wonderful. I still think Hoosiers is one of the all-time greats. So, all right. With that being said, I will now move on to my number 5.
Go for it.
And my number 5 is just a phrase that I've been using multiple times on the show, and so I put it in at number 5. it comes back over on the defensive side of the ball. Actually, it's my first one that's strictly defensive side of the ball, and it's the one I like to call the Brian Flores effect.
The Brian Flores effect.
And
Gotcha.
I'm telling you, I'm thinking some of the stuff I've seen at training camp, especially when I was there in person, I think I have seen his impact in the middle of the field. Okay? With the play, especially the middle linebackers, but I'm going to say a combination of the middle linebackers and the safeties. So I'm interested to watch that some more. Again, I'm going to be there, get to watch it live. I'm going to have a great view of being able to see that middle part of the field. I'm going to be interested to see if I continue to see those types of things from the defense, from the middle linebackers, the safeties, the interior of the defensive line, if I'm seeing those things the way I saw when I was at training camp.
Yeah.
So
that's just to kind of see the influence of all that. That's a really good point. So I'm trying to get my I wanted a ticker across the screen. I can't figure out how it works. But there's a thing on the screen for those of you watching live. If you're interested in 2 tickets to the preseason game this week, just reach out to me. So make sure I haven't got any messages yet. Nope. My number 5. I almost said number 1. My number 5. Well, I had 2 offense and I had 2 defense. So you know where I got to go here.
Oh, see, you're going to the thing that honestly I don't want to see any of.
Yeah, and that is you don't want to see any kicking. And I would be fine if I don't.
No. I want to see kicking.
You want to see extra points.
I want to see PATs. I want to see PATs and kickoffs. That's it.
That's it. But my thing is, if we see any punts, which from the Steelers, I want to see consistency. Like, I mean, I was looking at last year. It's one thing to have a 30-yard punt that you're downing at the 8-yard line. That's not a big deal. Because if you have a 40-yard punt, then it's a touchback. Yeah. But other than that, I want to see consistency, not just the punting. I want to see consistency in the kicking game. I want to see consistency with the kickoffs. I want to see consistency with the extra points or field goals. And I want to see consistency in the punting game. So I was going to outline specifically punting, but I really just want to see consistency.
Point. That really annoys me.
What? Point after attempts. So PATs.
There you go.
So yeah, I got to bring up something here. Unless you wanted to say something about the consistency.
No, it's something I can't argue. I just don't want to see them have to go out there enough.
Yeah, no, don't you want? If the Steelers have to kick 8 extra points, would you like to see 8 extra points go through with the majority of them right down the middle?
I would like to see all PATs made.
Yeah. Now the thing is am I really worried about Chris Boswell? Not really. I don't know that we're even going to see him in this game. We'll see. And if we do, it won't be much. I'm really looking more at the punting because that's where they need the most consistency. So that's why, even though you want to see consistency with the kicking in general, going specifically punting, because that's the one that they needed the most this year. Thomas Riley said this. He says, Dave or Big Bro, we'll change that to an and for you. There you go, Thomas. Should the Steelers reach out to the Chicago Bears about linebacker Roquan Smith? Here's Rich. What are your thoughts? Because he requested a trade. The Bears don't want to trade him. He's going into his 5th year option. He said they haven't really been negotiating in good faith and all those things. Did you have a thought there?
I don't know that the Steelers are going to reach out. They'd maybe field phone calls.
Yeah. My biggest thing here is, what would it take? Because they're not going to just give them away. And people are like, oh, well, why don't you trade Devin Bush with part of it? Okay, here's the thing. If you're talking that you want to do a deal, that's going to take more than Devin Bush because of him having a rough season last year. And, just based on everything. Devin Bush his salary right now, and everyone's like, oh, well, should they move on? He has a $6 million cap hit, and it's fully guaranteed. His base salary is just over $3 million, and his prorated bonus is just under $3 million. So that means if the Steelers were to trade Devin Bush, he'd still count for half of the salary cap amount that he would otherwise. If you want to look at someone like Roquan Smith, he's in a fifth-year option. There's no prorated bonus. You've got to take on the whole amount. And now, of course, you'd probably want to be working out a long-term deal, but do you really want to work out a huge long-term deal with someone who you just added to the team? That doesn't seem like something that the Steelers generally do. He wants a new deal with where he's going, and the Steelers don't seem to be the kind of team that's going to trade for a player to then sign him to a really big deal. So I'm not getting my hopes up about that at all. That's why I just don't think there's too many issues in there. But then again, I didn't think that the Steelers would necessarily be in the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade talks. And they did that, but that's a whole different salary that they were taking on with him being on a rookie deal. Yep. So in case you're wondering, Roquan Smith, I could look it up. Right now, his salary for this year is $9,735,000. So you'd be talking
about the Steelers would be adding close to $12 million to the cap. We don't have the money right now.
Well, not that they'd be adding $12 million. They would only be losing $3 while gaining $9.
Yeah.
So you're adding 6, but I mean, they would have to do a TJ Watt restructure to cover that. They might not have to right now with the way the salary cap stuff is, depending on what players they release. They would have to do one of those things. So, some people were, someone says Bush is looking good. Other people were saying, I mean, KT Smith, when he was here, he was saying about how bad Devin Bush was looking. So it really depends on who you talk to about Devin Bush. The Steelers aren't going to give up on Devin Bush. So what would the Bears even want for Roquan Smith? I don't know. And that's too many hypotheticals for me to try to say. That's why when I say when it gets really deep, my first instinct when it comes to the Steelers is to not do something like that. But if they ever want to be giving them away for a decent bit, then you think about it. Okay. So it is what it is. I just don't know. I don't know that he would want to then come to Pittsburgh if they're not going to be signing him to a new deal right away. And I don't know that Pittsburgh would want to do that. But it's a whole new GM, so you just don't know. Rich, anything else you want to say about our top fives here before we move on to our big question?
Nope. Ready for my big question.
All right. So I gotta get this banner out of here now. So hey, remember, if you're interested in 2 tickets to the game Saturday night, I'm not charging anything for them. I just reach out to me if you'd like. I just, 2 people who would like to go. So here we are. Big question. We could ask the title of the show and not have it be 5 and all those other things, but no. We've got to get back to tradition. The tradition of what we do on this show when we are talking about a game.
Sing it, Tavia.
Rich. Tradition. Sorry. We're getting way off topic too much tonight. That makes it kind of a fun show. Like someone said earlier, I can't remember who it was. Says, yeah, I wish I had that kind of relationship with my brother. What's the score going to be? That's what we do on this show every week. We ask what the score is going to be for the game. No, don't put your score out there yet, because until I type it in and put it in the live chat, I'm not going to bring it up. So you'll give yours.
It's our question right now.
You have to answer. I have to answer. Then you will answer. Yet. But get ready.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. My score for the game: Steelers 28, Seahawks 3.
Okay. Okay. 20, but no fourth quarter comebacks from that score, right? Sorry, just couldn't help it. Anytime you hear 28-3, you just gotta think that. My score, while I'm saying it, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the live chat so that way people can be ready to go. My score is I'm going Steelers 23, Seahawks 9. 23-9. That's what I'm going with. So here we go. We've got George Teston. He's got 21 to 11. Or, sorry, I said it wrong. 21. 20 to 11 Steelers. Brian Brown says 24-10. Sean Manahan says Steelers 24, Sea Chickens 12. Now, for those of you who don't remember, because it's been since January since we did this, if you just put numbers out there, we're assuming it's the Steelers. So you can just put the numbers if you want to. And then, but if you think that it's going to be the Seahawks, then you need to put that in there to tell us otherwise. Steel Dog 88 has 27-17 Steelers. Eddie Power says 27-13 Steelers. Kathy Ford, she says 20-10 Steelers. Hopefully that's what you get to see there. Kathy, let us know. Have you been to a game before? I'm just curious. I just want to know that. Put it in there and I'll make sure I catch it. Steeler Chick 46 says Steelers 28-17. Occam's Ox 17-10 Steelers. Love how hope always springs eternal in preseason. And I don't even care if the Steelers win. It's more than that, but you still want to see the Steelers win. Craig J. Lawson says 21-10 Steelers. Thomas Riley says 24-17 Steelers. Lifelong Fan 07 says 24-7 Steelers.
Kathy says yes, by the way.
Okay. Christopher 11 says, I was waiting for someone to do this one. Did someone say 21-10 earlier? I saw 20-10.
I don't know, but I thought about doing this.
Yeah, that it was 21-10, bring it back to Super Bowl 4.
I just didn't want to give them a touchdown.
Yeah, that was my thing. I didn't want to give them.
So I gave it to us instead.
Yeah, there you go.
I took away their touchdown. Gave it to
the Steelers. Okay. Todd Ferry says, sorry, it's Fairy, I think. I'm not getting the extra syllable in there. Steelers 30-10. Bubby Brister, nice to have you with us, Bubby. 17-13 Steelers. Okay. You were the quarterback of my youth. Sherry Richards says Steelers 27-9. That's close to mine. What did I say? 23-9? I got to remember that. See, I forgot. I gave a score. I'm not supposed to give a score.
No, you're not.
Because I'm supposed to wait till the preview. See, I'm in preseason form. Preseason form. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Preseason mistakes. That's why Jeff put that out on the Slack channel today.
Yep.
Get your
we got to sure up everything with our editorial and our podcast to make sure we're getting everything ready the preseason to give you the best that we can in the regular season. I got to make sure I say this right. Kelvin Colbert Sr., 17-13 Steelers. Darkstorm 1 says 10-0 Steelers after the first quarter. The rest of the game, who knows? I care little.
That's funny.
Frank F., 20-12 Steelers. See, the Steelers' first two games last year, I think they were down at halftime, both of them. I got to go back and check that. Claude Bishop, 9-3.
Steelers.
Yeah. Devin Logan, 21-7 Steelers. Okay. Patricia Castanado. Oh, sorry, I didn't read the whole thing. I was reading another thing. I'm starting over. Patricia Castaneda. Okay. I was looking at further down and didn't finish reading the whole thing. Has 24-17 Steelers. Sorry, Patricia. I will be better next time. Steeler Lee says 14-10 Steelers. Steeler Nation 412 says 17-14 Steelers. George OTJ. Gotta love this. 42-6. They sub a ton because all the backups playing so well. Seeing if there's any other one. Like Steel Dog 88 said, I missed it. He said, I can always change my score. I might have to. So I think that's all the scores that we see here. Like I said, if anyone would like to go to the game, I've got a couple tickets available. First come, first serve. That's the way it works. Rich, I'll give my closing thoughts on the preview since I gave my score here. So right now, it's all on you. After I say this, make sure you check it out behindthesteelcurtain.com. And make sure you're checking out all of our podcasts, not just the ones on YouTube and Facebook Live. Make sure you're checking out those audio-only ones. Anywhere you get podcasts, just search for Steelers or Behind the Steel Curtain or BTSC, and you'll find it. I'll get to that in a second. Also, if you don't have any other way to do the podcast and you're just on a computer or phone, you can go to our podcast article that comes out at 5:30 every morning. And there is a way to listen to each podcast in that article. So there's multiple ways to get them. The Kuda 70 says, is there an after game show from BTSC? No, there is a post game show. That we got to get it right there. Will be a post-game show. There's a game. There's going to be a post-game show. It'll be late. It'll be a Saturday night. It's been a long time since we've had a YouTube show on a Saturday. So
stay on long enough so I can catch you on part of my drive home.
There you go. Rich, what are your final thoughts leading into this first time to see the 2022 Pittsburgh Steelers on the field in action at Acrisure Stadium?
Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Thank you, Kyle Christ.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. Kyle, he gets me. He gets all these different songs in my head. All right. It used to be when I would do the mock draft Monday article, I always had just another mock draft Monday. I wish it was Sunday. That was what I was thinking in my head. But now I don't. For this year, I didn't because I had There's Only One Way to Mock. Then I still get that QB22, Where Are You song. But now, as soon as I listen to what Yin's talking about, I will be singing Raise Your Brand Acrisure for 2 days. Thank you, Kyle. You're very good at getting catchy songs. Keep up the good work. Rich, let's hear it.
Hey, look, I know that Steeler fans are getting excited because even though it's still just preseason football, it's football. We're excited for it. We're going to be happy to see it. You know what else? The players are getting excited for it. I know that the Steelers players are probably itching to get out there on the field as much as we are itching to see them on the field. It's just great. It's coming. Yes, it's the preseason, but guess what? We always have to start there before we can get to the regular season. So this is just that next step in the process. All right. Saturday night, 8 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, Acrisure Stadium. I'm going to be there. Who else is going to be there? Can't wait.
When I know that it can never really be the same, how could I move forward when I keep looking backward? I'm just